This is a horror story told by Mr. Pop, who experienced something truly terrifying and lived to tell us the tale. About 10 years ago, Mr. Pop was living with his mother in Lad Prao, Bangkok. He had always dreamed of running a dog farm, and over time, he managed to collect nearly 30 dogs. As the number grew, so did the complaints from neighbors about the constant barking and howling. Wanting to start a new life with his girlfriend and avoid conflict, he decided to move out and rent a new house. The new place had to meet several conditions: close to his work, spacious enough for dozens of dogs, and most importantly, tolerant neighbors. After months of searching, he found a house located near the end of a quiet residential street. But from the very first visit, something about it felt off. The house was surrounded on 3 sides by vacant or abandoned homes. To the right was a newly renovated, modern-style house painted a deep pinkish red, which one friend said looked like funeral flower garlands. Behind was a house with a for rent sign, and to the left, a massive abandoned property that once operated as a pub or restaurant, complete with old wooden workers' quarters behind it. Upon stepping into the house, Mr. Pop was hit with a strong animal stench, even though he hadn't mentioned he had dogs. More disturbingly, there was a dried-up gecko, large as a palm, stuck beside the bed. When he pointed it out, the owners acted confused and brushed it off. They also shared that the previous tenant had some strange behaviors, like being unable to stand sunlight, boarding up windows with smart boards, and keeping the air conditioning on constantly. Mr. Pop didn't think too much of it and focused on removing the mattress and cleaning the place. On the very first night after moving in, without any house blessing ceremony, only a Buddha statue and a 5-amulet necklace hanging from it, something disturbing happened. Around 9 p.m., while exhausted and unpacking, Mr. Pop and his girlfriend heard a loud thud from the backyard, like someone had jumped down from the fence. Thinking it was a thief, they crawled toward the window, planning to scare them off. But when they turned on the lights, the yard was empty, not even a disturbed leaf. Over the next few weeks, eerie occurrences escalated. While grooming his dogs, he often heard moaning and unintelligible murmuring. The first time he heard it, a sour stench followed. Strangely, his girlfriend heard and smelled nothing. Then the roles reversed. One night, she came running out of the bathroom, terrified after hearing those exact sounds. Mr. Pop heard nothing. It kept happening in this alternating pattern. Other consistent phenomena included banging noises like fists hitting walls at 2 or 3 a.m., and an old faucet in the backyard mysteriously turning on by itself every night. One time, while working late in the living room, he heard the faucet creak and turn, followed by water trickling out. He was terrified, but he had to turn it off. Then things got worse. His girlfriend began sleepwalking. Often around 2 a.m., he would find her standing, drenched, near the back room that connected to the haunted house on the left. Initially, he suspected infidelity, but she would seem dazed, unaware, and confused when he led her back to bed. One afternoon, while Mr. Pop was at work, she called him in panic. She had taken a nap and dreamt of a heavy-set Muslim woman loitering near their fence. In the dream, she saw the woman staring through the window at the foot of the bed. The woman disappeared, then reappeared again, this time closer, with hollow, black eyes. Waking up terrified, she realized she was truly awake, because the bedroom doorknob next to the bed was shaking violently, as if someone was trying to break in, yet no one else was home. Mr. Pop assumed she was stressed from caring for post-op dogs every 4 hours. He encouraged her to relax outside, but a few nights later, something happened to him directly. Late one night, a dog had an accident inside. Mr. Pop cleaned up and took it outside to blow dry its fur. The drying station was set near the left side fence. As he worked, the dog began behaving erratically, eyes darting back and forth, then barking furiously. Mr. Pop turned around slowly. Sitting on the fence, eye level, was half a body. From the waist down, it was dangling legs. No upper body, no face, just swinging legs. Without a second thought, Mr. Pop grabbed the dog and ran inside. He later realized the wall thumping he had heard nightly could have been those ghostly heels knocking the wall as it sat on the fence. In an effort to find answers, Mr. Pop befriended a kind, slightly hard-of-hearing neighbor named Paul. Mr. Pop apologized in case the dogs had caused a disturbance. Paul asked, "You're not scared to live here?" Then shared that the haunted building next door had once housed an elderly man and his son. The son worked out of town often, leaving the father alone. The man was known for shouting the phrase, "Damn it," the exact phrase Mr. Pop often heard after the ghostly moans. One day, Paul saw the elderly man crawling out from the house, drenched in blood. He had fallen in the bathroom and was left alone for days. Paul called an ambulance, but it was too late. The bathroom where he died was directly behind Mr. Pop's house, the same area where his girlfriend always sleepwalked. Later, Mr. Pop woke one night to water dripping on his face. He opened his eyes and saw his girlfriend standing on the bed, leaning over him, dripping wet. He fell out of bed in fear. She appeared dazed again. They decided they needed to offer a ritual. Based on her dream of the Muslim woman, they prepared grilled chicken, red soda, and fruits. On the offering day, it rained. They waited. When they finally placed the red soda on the table with a straw, they witnessed the soda rise through the straw and drip on the table, as if being sucked. Later, he chalked it up to air pressure. But in that moment, it felt supernatural. Afterward, he tasted the cherries they had offered. They were bland and flavorless. 2 days later, he opened an untouched pack from the same store. Those were incredibly sweet. He remembered the belief that offerings accepted by spirits lose their flavor. Things calmed down afterward, but every time they skipped the rituals, strange events resumed. One time, a large gecko smacked its tail repeatedly behind the TV. Another night, a neon light flickered on and off until he remembered, "We haven't offered anything in a while," and it immediately stabilized. The most terrifying moment came one night while he was playing with the dogs. His girlfriend, holding a fruit knife, entered the narrow dog room with a blank stare. The only way out was through her. He called her name over and over. She remained still. Fearing for his life, he tossed a dog food jar as a distraction, then punched her chin and escaped. He grabbed the amulet from the Buddha statue and placed it around her neck. She came to, disoriented, with no memory of the event. She had removed the amulet earlier, complaining it was itchy. Mr. Pop later believed the woman in the dream could have been a guardian spirit, angered by the noise and smell of 30 dogs, as dogs are frowned upon in some Muslim beliefs. Interestingly, dogs didn't thrive there, but his birds flourished. Eventually, Mr. Pop moved out, not because of ghosts, but because the neighboring houses became occupied and new complaints about his dogs arose. After quitting his job, he had the chance to relocate, but the memories of that haunted house remained forever etched in his soul.